morning, everyone. It's almost 1 o'clock on a Friday morning. This is Phillies Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Thanks for staying up with us. Unfortunately, we're not talking about a win. We're talking about a loss, which means a series loss. Amy Fiddle, Ricky Vitalico, and Ruben Amaro Jr. And gentlemen, listen, there was no doubt about that Marcell Ozuna pitch. As soon as that came his way, it was gone.
No, there wasn't. I mean, Joe Ross, he made a bad pitch. He hung a slider, stayed up in the zone. Ozuna hit it, and yeah, there was no doubt that ball was flying out of the park. But I don't know if either one of these teams would have scored if they didn't have a ghost runner. The way the game was going, because I will say this much: between Hernandez, Romano, Strom, Banks, those guys were outstanding in the Phillies bullpen. They all put up a scoreless inning, and I mean, look, the whole point is you sit around for almost 3 hours of a rain delay. Neither team was really thrilled to come back to play this game. There's no doubt about that. But you know what? Everything counts in the standings. And the Phillies take a one-run lead, and then all of a sudden, kaput, it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, 2 hours, 45 minutes on the rain delay, some serious rain that moved through, and you wondered if they were just going to call it. They didn't. They wanted to get this game in, so they did. They resumed at 11:30 after pausing it at 8:45. Ruben, I mean, that's tough for anybody to come back to.
It is tough, but they still have to play the game, and you still have to concentrate. And unfortunately, offensively, the Phillies, they literally did not get a hit after the sixth inning. I had 0 hits for 6 innings, or five innings, without a hit. 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Pretty futile effort by everybody across the board. A couple of guys swung the bats okay, but really they had opportunities to blow this game open, and they couldn't get it done. They had some chances, even in the extra innings, where the pitchers were just not, throwing strikes to them, and they just put together some pretty poor at-bats, unfortunately. And really, the pitching, I thought the pitching did a very great job to keep the Atlanta Braves at bay, and they just couldn't get it done.
I think the one thing that really stands out to me is the Jordan Romano, because you wanted to see him pitch well. You wanted to see his velocity kind of boost up. He was hitting 95 today. That was a little bit of a boost, but the one thing I did see is he had a lot more depth, a lot more life on his slider, which is something that he needs. I mean, it's a necessity for him. He had that tonight, so that's going to carry over. I think a little bit of confidence goes a long way with him right now. Yeah,
I mean, these guys all pitched 1 inning. You can see Joe Rosso obviously gave up the hit to Austin Riley that brought in Albies, and then the home run, the 2-run home run that won the game. But, you had Tanner Banks, Matt Strom, and you mentioned Romano there. This is what you wanted to see from them, Ruben. You needed to see Romano to come back. You needed Strom to be strong out there. You can see the 2 strikeouts, and Tanner Banks to be strong as well.
Yeah, really great job by these guys until we got to Ross, and unfortunately made a couple of mistakes. And Ross was throwing the ball well yesterday, and actually just made the one mistake in the middle of the plate that got knocked out of the ballpark. But I was really impressed by the way these guys handled themselves. We've been crushing this bullpen for a while, and unfortunately, because of the rain delay, Luzardo probably would have pitched another inning at least. The way he was throwing the baseball, and we'll talk about him probably a little bit more. But they were sort of forced into pitching all these guys in the bullpen, and they did a really nice job until the end of the game. And I agree with you, Ricky. I think there's a silver lining here, and that's Romano, because he's a really important part of this bullpen. And it seemed he had got his mechanics together. He threw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball away, paint, to one of the left-handers. He had a really good slider working, and I was happy to see that. Yeah, there's a whole lot of traffic early in the game, and he sort of pitched out of it. He didn't panic. He stayed within himself and made his pitches. I thought he got stronger as he went. I mean, I got past that 4th or 5th inning, and he was still throwing the ball extremely well, and getting sharper and sharper, it seemed, as it went. But he figured out a way to get out of those difficult innings, and really impressive effort by the guy. I love everything about him. I hope he stays healthy, because he's not like a number 4 or number 5. This guy's got like number 1, number 2 type stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned it. He probably would have been out there had it not been for the rain delay, at least for the 7th.
Well, he was sitting on He had 98 pitches.
Yeah, but like Ruben's point, like he actually got better. When you're looking at the 4th, 5th, and 6th, it was much stronger than his 1st, 2nd.
I mean, when you look at Schwellenbach, he definitely would have gone back out.
Oh,
he was
absolutely.
only sitting at around 81 pitches, so he would have gone back out. Yeah, he probably would have sent Luzardo out to start the 7th.
Right, and see how it went. Well, they had a 2-hour, 45-minute rain delay, and unfortunately, that played a big part in one of the reasons the Phillies lost this game. Let's check in with Rob Thomson in Atlanta.
Did you not have Kirkering tonight?
No, nor Alvarado.
Were you, was it because Kirkering was up again last night?
Yeah, so he'd been up 3 nights in a row in the middle, 90 through 27 pitches. Gotta give him dead.
Yeah, how handcuffed do you get there as that game keeps going in terms of your relievers?
Really, Ross and Ruiz were emergency guys. So really tried to stay away from them because they pitched 1+ innings yesterday. So, but we had to use them. So.
You sit around all night to try to get the rest of this game in and use it the way you did. How does that feel?
Oh, yeah, you want to win, but I really felt good about our bullpen with Romano. Looks like the rest helped him. Getting Hernandez in the game, showing what kind of stuff he's got. Curveball's really good. Split's good. 99. Strom looks like he just keeps getting a little bit sharper every outing. Banks did a great job. Joe, I'm sure he was tired tonight. So, and I was happy with Luzardo. He pitched well again.
See Nick just kind of get out of what he's been doing?
Yeah.
Is that just he's in the cleanup spot maybe, and he's just trying to do too
No,
much?
I don't think so.
That was.
I think you got to give their pitchers some credit because they got him out of the zone. Especially, Schwellenbach's got good stuff, and he can really locate his stuff. And it's in the zone to out of the zone. He got Nick. So.
What did you think of Bohm's at bats? He hit that one on the screws in the 1st inning.
Yeah, and then flew out to the track. Yeah, they're better. Yeah.
Sorry.
With Romano, was there anything mechanical that he worked on, or do you think it's
Not
just
that I know of. I'm kind of attributing more to rest than anything else. We'd gone 3 out of 4 there early, and it just looked like he was wiped out. But it looks like he's refreshed now.
Do you worry at all about Bohm's confidence despite hitting it hard? He didn't have results to show for him?
Not really. As long as he's putting good at bats together and hitting the ball hard, he's going to be fine. He's hit into a lot of tough luck too along the way, but he's really played well defensively.
Is there a reason why you guys agreed, or why the league or someone said you wanted to stick around and try to finish this tonight?
That's through MLB.
That you guys were told, or you wanted to, or like what was the?
No, they just said there was a window, so we stayed around.
Going back to Luzardo's start, what do you have to say about him, his first 3 starts with the Phillies?
They've been fantastic. Fastball command, the slider's improving every game. Changeup's really good to right-handed hitters. He keeps people off balance, and he can power the ball too. And I really liked his resilience tonight. He had first inning was 20-some pitches. The 3rd and 4th inning were high pitch counts. They put some good at bats on him, but he kept battling and gave us 6 good innings.
It's a similar spot where he hit the one in the 11th that actually was a warning track, obviously.
It is such a short stroke, and you're right about it. Had he been able to stay on that ball just a little bit more in the 11th, he would have had a salami, and we would have been talking about a different type of a game. But he's so quick with his bat and so strong. I mean, he's like a modern-day Babe Ruth. That's how I view him. His hands are really, really quick, and it's amazing what he can do, and he's been super impressive and sort of like carrying the Phillies right now offensively. And it's
honestly,
I hope the other guys catch on sometime soon. They've had some good at bats, but not as consistent as you'd like them to be throughout the rest of the lineup.
I just like that his numbers are consistent all the way across. I mean,
getting hits and stuff.
He's hitting 283.
On base.
He's 411 on base percentage. He's getting his home runs. He's driving in runs. He's doing a little bit of everything. So that to me is special in itself.
Yeah, and he's a guy that's sometimes first in the lineup, sometimes fourth in the lineup.
He doesn't care.
And it does
It
not
doesn't-
matter
makes
to
the
him.
adjustment.
And he said that, and it's true. He did say that.
Very short arm stroke, and he's very consistent with his ability to throw all of his pitches for strikes. Makes it really tough on the hitters.
Yeah, his fastball slider combo was really good tonight, especially to the right-handed hitters. That slider was, you know what? It must have looked like it was right down the middle because you were getting a lot of swings from a lot of different guys on that pitch. So it must have been nasty. It must have been very deceptive to the Phillies hitters. And, you know, the one thing that I liked about Schwellenbach is that he actually realizes the situation that he's in. You saw him make that play on the double play. That's a great play to make.
Great play.
And he's got no panic type stuff. And I think that's going to only make him better as time goes on because, you know, you get some men on base. If you don't panic, you're in a lot better shape than if you're getting nervous out there. He just seemed to make pitches if he was even in a little bit of trouble.
First base hits he's given up to a right-hander was today, and I think it was JT got a couple of them.
JT got one,
and I think and Turner pulled one
down the
left field line.
Yeah.
But
Good news for JT.
You know, only 3 base hits he's given up to right-handed hitters this year so far in 3 starts. That's pretty insane.
1 earned in 3 starts. You mentioned that double play, and I'm glad you did because for people that might not know, and thank you for tuning in at 1:20 a.m. for this nugget, he played shortstop in college at Nebraska. So he is quite the athlete. But let's go check it. What's that?
This can of corn, you could have said a little corn husker.
Oh, that would have been really good. Can of corn,
It's
corn
1:30,
husker.
I understand.
It's 1:19:54 actually,
getting
but I
to
appreciate
1:30.
it. Let's go check in with Jesús Luzardo. Jesús Luzardo, we call him from Delco.
Anything different for you in the start where you go out there and you know there's probably going to be like a delay at some point tonight?
No, just really kind of go about it and try to just carry on like normal.
How'd you feel about your outing tonight?
It was more of a grind. Didn't have my best stuff, but you know, I thought we made it work for the most part. JT, you know, helped me back there, and the defense helped me as well. So, you know, we did everything we could.
What did you do during the delay? It's
Kind of just sit here, talk with the guys, listen to some music, just waiting to see what was the news. We were unsure for a little bit.
You had to figure you were done though, right? I mean, knowing how much rain was coming, it's not like you were throwing every 20 minutes or anything, right?
No, I knew I was done. From the second the delay started, I knew I was done.
That 14-pitch Olsen at bat, that was kind of a battle. It's pretty satisfying to get a double play out of that.
Yeah, I hate walking people, and then you know, me and him go way back to Oakland, so it was, I mean, a good battle. It would have been frustrating if I lost it for sure.
That was the longest one of your career.
Longest at bat? Yeah, definitely.
smiling or laughing at you really during why you found one off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I texted him after for sure. I said 14's way too many. Let's cut it off at like 9 or 10.
Through 3 starts, like where are you versus where you would have wanted to be through 3 starts?
I think I'm probably right where I want to be. Yeah, I had a couple good outings with my stuff, and then an outing like this where we kind of had to grind through it and still made it work. I think, you know, it kind of shows where we're at right now.